So, hello everyone, I am Dr. Adarsh Rath, your host, and welcome to the Adarsh Rath report. So, first of all, मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा for appreciating our previous episodes and बहुत feedback आया कि the episodes were insightful, so thank you, and we promise to make it more insightful in the coming episodes. So today we have a special guest to the show, but before we get into the topic, which is education and entrepreneurship, I'll give you certain facts and figures to set the context. इससे आपको समझने में आसानी होगी कि what are we talking, right? See, I mean, I'll give you certain facts and figures of school education in rural India. So there's this report called ACER, which is Annual Status Education Report by Pratham. So there are certain good things to acknowledge, but there are certain concerns as well. Now the enrollment level, it seems, has gone up since 2010 to 2022. So it has gone up from 96.6% in 2010 to 96.7 in 2014 to 97.2 in 2018 to 98.4 in 2022, which means ये 96.6% in 2010 से 98.4% in 2022 बढ़ा है, which means people are getting enrolled in schools, which is a good sign for India. And in all the states in general, there has been rise in government school enrollment, which means in rural India, so बहुत बच्चे अभी government schools में enroll हो रहे हैं. So since 2018 to 2022, the numbers have gone up, which is a good sign. But there are certain concerns also. So in 2022, as per the ACER report, only 25% of all children in grade 3 were at grade level. अब before getting into this, I'll just tell you what is grade level. Grade level का मतलब ये है, suppose for example grade 2 में एक बच्चा है, उसके हिसाब से अगर grade 2 वो ख़त्म करता है या करती है, इसका मतलब ये है कि in maths this child must do the basic operation like addition or subtraction. इसका मतलब grade 2 completion है. लेकिन the report says only 25% in grade 3 can do addition and subtraction of grade 2, which means एनरोलमेंट हो रहा है, बढ़ रहे हैं बच्चे, ग्रेड भी बढ़ रहा है, लेकिन उनका जो ग्रेड के हिसाब से उनको जो ज्ञान चाहिए वो उनके पास है नहीं. So which is called grade level. Similarly, only 20% are at grade level in reading, which means जैसे grade 2 में students are expected to able to read some text fluently, जो वो चाहे कोई भी language में हो, लेकिन only 20% पढ़ पाते हैं. So which is not a very good sign. So and in fact the pandemic has made the situation worse in many states. The number I am giving is is for the entire Odisha. It might fluctuate considering different states. किसी में ज़्यादा होगा, कोई states में कम होगा. But in general, this is the thing. I'll give you the link of the report in detail. But to address all of these, people talk about problems, but entrepreneurs talk about solutions. So today we have a very inspiring person. I admire him a lot. He's Mr. Biswajit Nayak, and he is an engineer from NIT Rourkela and MBA from San Francisco State University. And he has more than 25 years of experience in IT industry. So he flew back to US back in 1909 and has stayed in California all these years, or Silicon Valley all these years. But something happened and he began his meaningful entrepreneurial journey, which is Aveti, we will discuss today. And it all started in Odisha. He started it from his hometown, his home district and his home state. and he started addressing the underprivileged students जिन लोगों को accessibility नहीं है for proper resources, and we will discuss a lot about it. But of course now it has been scaled. Now it has been scaled to many districts, many states, and interestingly many countries. We will understand more about this inspiring journey in some time now. So his organization Aveti has impacted so many lives, but has also been awarded and recognized. So it has been awarded as most impactful startup in Silicon Valley in 2018, and one of the high impact enterprise by Villgro, and among top 30 next billion edtech enterprise, and many more which we will get to know more. So let us know more about his inspiring journey from the man himself, Biswajit Nayak. Welcome sir, thank you so much for giving your valuable time.
Thank you others, and thank you all our audience. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you are seeing this thing. And I think you just flattered me by talking a lot about me, but yeah, so basically as you said, it's all started here in Odisha. तो बेसिकली मुझे वो एक मूवी देखा था राम जी लंदन वाले, तो वहाँ पे वो था ना कि ये गाड़ी क्या होगा, ये गाड़ी में अगर मेरा बहन भाई नहीं बैठ सकता है, ये गाड़ी में अगर मेरा माँ बैठ नहीं सकता है, तो गाड़ी का क्या होगा. तो सैन फ्रांसिस्को में गाड़ी चलाने में कुछ मजा नहीं है, सैन फ्रांसिस्को में एजुकेशन लेने में कुछ मजा नहीं है, जो मजा यहाँ पे देने में है. तो दैट इज व्हाई आई एम स्टेइंग इन सैन फ्रांसिस्को एंड आल्सो आई एम स्टेइंग इन ओडिशा, and we are doing this business, and I can explain you as you go.
Correct. So चालू करते हैं. Important, I have been eager to learn about it. So can you share the inspiration behind thinking of Odisha, because you stayed more than 2 decades in the US. So being in the Silicon Valley, and how did you think about the underprivileged student, that too about rural part of Odisha? So how did this journey begin?
Basically the journey begins with me. Maybe एक underprivileged बंदा था. I was, after my father's untimely death, I was kind of underprivileged. So I knew how difficult it can be to struggle in these areas, in the rural areas, and get a quality education. And somehow my stars are aligned. I probably went to NIT Rourkela and then did my thing. So, and also thing is that I got a lot of things from this state. A lot of love, lot of affection. After my father's death, my village people helped us. My friends in the hostel at NIT Rourkela fed me for a year, and the government, in fact, also they helped us. Fantastic. So when I went to America back in '99, I thought I'm going with a baggage to pay back, and I didn't know how to pay back. If you come to your village, come to your place once upon a year and then give some money, that is, in my opinion, is not a payback.
Correct.
That is basically you are making them more lazy. You are making their expectation high, so that next time you come, if nothing will happen, then there will be a big panga.
You are making them more dependent.
More dependent, right? Independent. So that is why we thought of how to do. So this came actually, we have a girl in my village, her name is Bella. Bella means like in Odia, there's a fruit.
Fruit, correct, Bella.
If your belly is little bit of this thing, then they will, by jokingly, they will just, because this is kind of it's a bad thing, for a girl you talk to like that. But Bella wants to study, and Bella was the inspiration. That is the initial thing, that what to do. So I think, how can we enable Bella? And
many such Bellas. Yeah.
Many such Bellas are there. So that's why I thought I will do something on education. And we can discuss as we go ahead the story, but that is our main inspiration, is to give back to Odisha, and the best way to give back is to educate.
Fantastic. Actually, that is, education can bridge, many challenges, of course. So when we talk about challenges, what challenges did you face while establishing your organization, when you think, and because your organization works with the regional languages, primarily in Odisha to begin with, and of course it has scaled up, we will discuss that. But what challenges did you face while establishing this organization, and specifically beginning with the regional languages and addressing the specific needs of the students? How did you?
So basically this is a challenge. At the same time, I say this is an opportunity. Because when we started back in 2014, there are not much in Odia. except the newspaper, other article, blogs and all this thing, we are probably the company that has written most number of ODI script on the internet.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, 2014, now it's changed. So what I'm trying to say, the biggest challenge is quality content. So there are three kinds of India. India 1 is of Ambani's, India 2 that we are sitting here discussing, and India 3 is those that auto driver and then your servants maid and all this thing, right? They do not understand English. So basically we need to do something, the language of their choice. Here is Odia. So that is why we thought of doing this Odia. So when we came to Odisha back in 2014, there's a lot of challenges like, technical challenges are there, content is not there, and how can you give a digital intervention if you do not have those things? So that is how we started building our stuff. We build it very methodically. It's not like, we are looking for a valuation or something. We just we took our time, but we ensure that we do a good thing. It's not that they are poor, so we just give them dog's food. We just ensure that we can give the same quality education that our kids are getting in Kendriya Vidyalaya or DAV, the same thing can be reached to them.
The same kind of education that India 1 and 2 are getting.
India 1 and 2 are getting, how can you make this thing affordable, expandable, and very clear and concise instruction. And that's what I will talk about as a report, and I was very moved by the report that these are the facts.
Correct.
So how can you fix it?
Entrepreneurial ecosystem, especially in tier 2 and 3 cities, is yet to be evolved. I mean, it has its own challenges. Of course, there are opportunities, but it has own challenges. And मैं जितने लोगों से बात किया हूँ, एटलीस्ट एंटरप्रेन्योर से बात किया हूँ, आई अंडरस्टैंड कि बिल्डिंग राइट टीम is very difficult, but you coming back from the Silicon Valley could successfully get the right team. How did you build your team? How did you build your organization?
Yeah, so basically, this is, once Steve Jobs told that he was connecting the dots by looking, you cannot connect the dots in the back, right?
Correct.
So what happened when my father died in 91? We moved to village. From 91 to 98, I became a kind of underprivileged kid. I went through that cycle. So I understand, I really empathize with the India 3 much more than the India 1 and India 2 or even in America, right? So that was kind of the knack that I had. How do I connect to those people? Because anyway, I was part of this thing, and all my, most of my young life has been spent there. So that is when I went to Silicon Valley, I learned the trick. Then I thought of applying that thing in my village. So I just telling an anecdote, whenever we started a tuition center, a local gunda came and asked us for hafta, because for Ganesh Puja, this thing, right? So look, everybody will see that, oh, he's a troublemaker, get away from him. But I see an opportunity in him. And that, I just took a bet, and that was my best hire that I could ever get. So that gunda, actually not a gunda, that was a 10 plus 2, after plus 2 he dropped out. And then he was a real hustler, right? Basically, the others are very, accustomed to getting the free 2 taka ka chawal and then this thing. But this guy, thoda aspiration to hai iske paas. Then I thought of leveraging that aspiration. Agar ek banda ke paas hai, then actually I recruit him. My fast recruit is that you say a troublemaker. And let me tell you, I taught him 2 courses from University of Pennsylvania online on Coursera, marketing. So the gunda, with his innate capability, when he learned about 4 P's and 4 C's of marketing, and he's unbeatable. And the job that he did in my village, no IM, no XMB graduate will do. First of them won't go there. Okay. So what I'm saying is that I just need somebody who can run my tuition center, a good administrator, guy who can collect the money, guy who can go and do some marketing. And what I think is that I don't need to send him to an MBA. But I can make whatever he needs to be successful in the trade can learn. The time to do that, 3 months from a Coursera course. So basically my point is, in tier 2, tier 3 cities, you don't expect to have a ready-made availability of manpower. But with a 1.4 billion people, same site of intellectual capability is distributed. You don't think that it's only there in Mumbai and Bangalore, because they get opportunity, that's why those things are getting, right? So my thing at Aveti Learning, we always think that can we bring world-class opportunities through education? And that's what we do. And whatever we are trying to sell to our customer, I need to first sell to me. And that's why I made a point that I will always hire tier 2, tier 3 cities. And you to come to our office in Bhubaneswar, most of them are from tier 3 cities, tier 2 cities, like Banki, Jagatsinghpur and all this thing. But it's need to find, there is in our hiring method, we follow type. T for teachable, can I teach that guy? I for, can that guy has independently do something? Then M, can you manage that guy? And E, can leader guy has hunger, does he need money? If he or she find it 2 rupees chawal, then he's not for us. But 1.4 billion people, there are people who wants to go to the India too. Find them, nurture them, and you will find a very good skilled workforce. And sometimes these kids are very loyal because I am building them.
True.
Right. And of course, like whenever you do something, like अमरूद के साथ तो 20 भी आएंगे, right? आएगा तो छोड़ दो, उसे 20 को पी लेंगे, महादेव बनेंगे.
Correct. बट या लाइक यू सेड कि उनको ट्रेन वहीं पे ढूंढना पड़ेगा, वहीं पे ढूंढ के हमको ट्रेन करना पड़ेगा, एंड विच इज़ अ गुड थिंग. आई मीन दैट इज एंड दैट क्रेडिट गोज टू द मैनेजमेंट ऑल्सो. आई मीन द वे यू हैव हैंडल्ड देम एंड द वे यू हैव नर्चर्ड देम, ऑफ कोर्स दैट इज वेरी नाइस. बट नाउ बिकॉज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एविटी, कुड यू प्लीज टेल अस how it has grown over the years since 2014, since you began, and then
so basically, as you say, I went to the US and I always trying to find out a way to give back. So therefore, Bella was my inspiration. I came back to Odisha, to my village, and started my first tuition center. So शिक्षा देना है तो कुछ तो
correct,
like you need जगह चाहिए, right? So I started that thing. That's a single tuition center back in 2014.
okay,
and
in your hometown,
in my village in Jajpur. Okay, so then we learn a lot of things. We learn basically that's the best thing is that, and honestly I never came and proposed to build a company.
रातों रात कुछ change
नहीं मैंने I just came with a good intention.
Good intention.
That's a good intention. Then मेरे गांव लोग तो कुछ challenge दिए. That's obvious.
Obviously,
you can do this thing. Then we धीरे-धीरे like we thought that okay, hey, like there are so many things for the English medium students, like digital content, animated content, and all this thing. So why can't we do something similar in Odia?
In Odia, correct.
Right? And then we built our content team. We built the full class 1 to 10. Then we took this thing for validation with the government of Odisha. They validated. So basically it's a process. And then we built, like then we realized that hey, like this we have the digital content, but who is going to how to deliver them? We don't have consistent electricity.
Correct.
Internet is there. So that's why we build this kind of tools to ensure that this is basically an offline server where we can put everything and ship it to the place and it will run.
So you're not dependent on internet.
No internet, no electricity, no problem. It is going to work. Right. So that is what it's a kind of a journey from 2014, and basically every journey surprised me. Every year I just count, hey, this is something new that happened this year that didn't happen last year. For example, from one Gunda running our center, in second year we have almost 20 centers funded by some of my friends back in the US, and it went on. So basically here is the, अगर आपका intention ठीक है, तो कुछ ना कुछ हो जाएंगे.
लोग भी जुड़ते जाएंगे.
You don't need good people will come work with you. उसमें अभी bad people भी आते हैं, right? So ignore and then you move on and carry on.
So there's one movie called I don't remember the name. It is one of my favorite movies. It says there's a saying called if you pray for rain you will also get mud. So कुछ लोग रहेंगे ऐसा ये है. But now you have more than 80 centers now.
Yeah, so basically so that time it's 80 centers. Then we moved to the schools. Now we are running in 1400 government schools in 13 districts in Odisha. And also there are another 10 that we are adding in Dharwad, Hubli districts in Karnataka. And also in Uttar Pradesh, there are a couple of centers.
So you're scaling up to more states now.
Yes, that's the plan. We want to ensure that wherever there is a kid who is learning in vernacular thing, there would be content, and there would be a support system, and there would be somebody who's working for them. It's not like the elites. We are for the
same the India 3.
India 3.
Yeah, so because you talked about making it regional, making it in regional languages. So like in Odisha you are making it in Odia. So in Karnataka and in UP you will do similar.
Yeah, we have already started Kannada, Hindi, and we are planning to do all 22 different.
Oh, that is very nice. Your team is working on this. Now, जब हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं about region and regional stuff, so how are your this educational digital resources? How do you ensure they are culturally or regionally relevant? Because culture in India is very important.
Yeah, very important. So for example, अगर आप साउथ को जाओगे तो रजनीकांत का मूवी चलेंगे, वहाँ पे शाहरुख खान कुछ नहीं है। अभी आप नॉर्थ को जाएंगे तो शाहरुख खान का मूवी चलेंगे, राइट? So basically point is अगर मैं उड़ीसा में आऊँगा, अगर मैं जाके अमेरिकन चीज देखता, so the way that American democracy didn't work in Iraq and Afghanistan, similarly the American education just as it is probably won't work. And that is why we always believe, like for example, even if your phone, they build a phone that also has some contextualized thing for your for the country specific thing, right? And it matters. Correct. Right. And especially education, it matters even more. Right? For example, if you are giving an analogy or something while you are teaching something, right? So if you give a foreign example, probably won't this thing, right? If I am talking to Tamil Nadu, maybe I will put Rajinikanth into my character. And if I am talking to here, I will Odisha, Bihar, maybe I will put Mahendra Singh Dhoni or Virat Kohli into it. So that is always, it will be there, and then we are very, when we started for 1 year we failed because we didn't do that.
Okay.
So that is why we learned from by doing.
Learning.
Yes, we learned from our mistakes, and today, we ensure that everything is cultural relative, and even we build tools. So there is a couple of, for example, in a piece of content, there is something universal truth. That is same as America, same in India, same in Pakistan, same in wherever you go. But there are some classical example that is region specific.
Correct.
So when we build content, we make sure that we can modularize those things, so we can remove and put the other thing that when you go there.
So that is relatable. वो लोग भी relate
कर सकते हैं. Right.
That is very important.
Yes.
So like Bella story, now it's been around a decade of Aveti Learning into its existence. So can you tell us or highlight a success story or an impact case study which actually made a significant difference in that student's life?
Yes. So basically, during the COVID time, we used to do this kind of live podcast. What we were doing, we do some live guest lecture, and that time every Sunday we do a live guest lecture at 9 o'clock. And a lot of kids from Odisha join us. That's shooting in Zoom and also YouTube live. So what was happening there? That time I met a guy. His name is Chinmay Majhi. He's a grade 5 student from Hallupalli in Western Bargarh, in Western Odisha, in Bargarh district. So this guy, when he came to know, he's a very curious guy. Staying in a village, and then for somehow at a grade 6 level, he ordered some Arduino chip, just like Raspberry Pi we were using Arduino chip, and he did something, right? And I can share you a video of Chinmay, whenever you want.
We'll give the link.
And so what happened, is Chinmay, he stayed with us almost 2 years. He attended all the guest lecture. He has always question. So and also to my students, the best thing is to teach is that you need to love your students.
Correct.
It's unconditional love. Okay, so that is what I learned. That is how to build the trust, and that's how things will move. So the Chinmay, what I did, I started talking to him, and he was always saying that because he was a very techie mindset. He always saying, "Hey, can you give me a laptop?" So, why, man? So I want to give you a laptop. No, I want to do coding. So, he persists.
Okay.
From grade 6 until grade 8. For 2 years he persists for a laptop. Then I gave him, okay, before I give a laptop, can you do this coding on a mobile? And he did.
Oh, he did it?
Yeah, he did it.
Oh, wow.
So, I knew that if I give him a laptop, it may not work. I thought of bringing him. So whenever, just after the grade 8, done, that time we don't have any more COVID, all things are open, then I got him to our office. I just want to test if a kid in grade 8 with enthusiasm can learn computer science or not. And he proved me correct.
Fantastic.
In 1 month, he learned Python.
Wow.
And he stayed in our office, he stayed in our, the place that our another co-founder is staying. And every day he'll go to 10 o'clock, he'll go to the office, 10 to 5 he'll work. And in 1 month, less than 1 month, he almost completed 80% of Code Academy Python this time. And you know what? and then he's supposed to go back to Burger, right? And this guy wants to meet me online, and he was crying. You know why he's crying? He doesn't want to go back.
Okay, he wants to do.
He wants to stay back in Odisha, in Bhubaneswar, and then today, if you just now in Baramunda, you go to just in 100, 200 meters, there is a place called Baramunda Seshu Mandir. Chinmay Majhi is right here,
Oh,
and we sponsor him.
okay.
We sponsor him entire. Yeah, he's in grade 10. You just go, just like 200 meters. You go and then find him. You should go and then do the video there. Because he is the inspiration. He is my
the
inspiration.
of course. That
So Chinmay Majhi is one example. There's multiple examples
there are many
there that we can share. So the thing is that, so what I think, people are building product. I'm thinking I'm building people.
we are building people.
And 1.4 billion people we have.
Yes,
And we need to build a lot.
Correct. And that ultimately will build the nation. So
Build a nation, build anything,
correct. No, that is important. Now, because you talked about how government helped you, I mean, the state government has helped you. So, with this, I have this in mind. What do you think the role of partnership? I mean, it could be partnership with the government organization or private bodies, government bodies or private bodies. How do these collaborations help an organization like Aveti to grow?
Yeah, so basically, look, we are doing in vernacular. So who are going to vernacular medium schools? Majority are from government schools. And then couple of Seshu Mandirs, Vivekananda schools, and then Aurobindo schools. So these are the best, these are the thing, but there are massive number of government schools, right? So we need to find out a way to work with the government. And we cannot succeed without working with the government, right? Because that is where the kids are. And we are lucky that always, I got support from the government. People say that government doesn't work and all this thing, but in my opinion,
Government has helped you a lot.
government helped me. While I was studying, government helped. While in my company also, whatever we are today, because the 1400 government schools that we are working on.
Correct. Without the help or support of the government, it would have been difficult.
It was much difficult. It wasn't possible even.
Like you
And
mentioned,
I'm
I
lucky.
think-
Maybe I didn't do anything. Somehow I had the proper product that time, and then they did.
Like you mentioned, your intentions were right. So
Intentions are right, and then we wait for 8 years. The government was new, and we do a lot of free program for the government. So my point is, keep your intention good and keep in the field. वो बोलते हैं ना कि अगर टेस्ट मैच जीतना है, you stick there to the 5th day टी तक तो टिकाना है, किसी तरह से
result might change.
stay on to टी, then you और अगर one day खेल रहे हो तो 49 ओवर तक गेम को खींच के लो, things will change.
Very true.
Right.
You
And
have
that's
to
what
be
the
patient and persistent.
Patient and persistent, keep doing, things will change.
Things will change. Yeah, correct. So, because you have stayed in Silicon Valley and you have worked a lot in technology, how do you think technology has transformed in terms of education accessibility, giving education accessibility to the rural areas?
Yeah. So first of all, lot of things that we work in Silicon Valley and all these things, those are built for the American people, they're built for their nation, and they're built for maybe the elites in India or the middle class in India. But very few have the insights there in the US, how to market, how to build product for the rural poor. And that, they cannot do it. They cannot empathize with our problem. This has to be done locally. And same principle, same procedure may apply that they are building, but we need to know our customer, we need to know our environment, we need to know
audience, yeah.
target audience. So that is how, even if I stayed in the US, what I did, I inspired 41 members of my team with the American values, American product building values. Not other values, by the way, American product building values. So that I shift every day some knowledge from the West to the East through Zoom. Every day I meet them, every day we talk, every day we discuss, and that is how we build this organization, and that is how we have basically that is sometimes it's a difficult thing that I'm staying in the US, but I think the same thing, the way that I took opportunity out of the Gunda,
Correct.
we can do the same thing.
Correct. You
Don't
learn
creep.
from, yes.
Don't creep that मैं वहाँ पे हूँ. अरे मैं वहाँ पे हूँ तो मैं वहाँ पे artificial intelligence सीख रहा हूँ. मैं वहाँ पे हूँ तो I will find 4 or 5 Stanford graduate who can come and work for us.
Correct.
Right. So
you should take the benefit of what you are getting
what
there
we are getting
and
there.
to give back.
Instead
to
of
what
saying
you
that
want.
okay, बहुत सारी a lot of
हो नहीं सकता, ये
हो नहीं
सब,
सकता, that is not true. we can do, and then આજકાલ Zoom and all this thing is
technology
super
is
possible.
actually transformed.
Yeah.
But still, there are raising questions about the e-learning. Still, there are many school of thoughts कि नहीं physical learning ही actual learning होता है, e-learning इतना effective नहीं है, and all of those things. There are certain school of thoughts that says this. But what do you think were the challenges in promoting your e-learning, and how do you think it has actually has been effective?
So basically, they are correct. E-learning just doesn't work.
Only e-learning doesn't work.
Only e-learning, just if you just give some app to a kid in grade 5 and say that he'll study, he'll not do that. What is going to happen is he's going to do something else on that
phone
time.
or whatever.
So e-learning happens maybe for adults who wants, like for example, I need a promotion.
Right. So you will upgrade yourself.
So I will upgrade, and so that is where probably self-paced learning and all this happen. So what we are promoting, we are not promoting e-learning, we are promoting a supplemental educational material for the teachers, for the students, for the tuition center, parents and so on, so that they can be more effective. So for example, in one click, you have a animated respiration system there. Explain it there. And then another thing. So how many, let me ask you one question, right? What this box or this computer can do, it can personalize. For example, I'm giving a simple example. A guy who is in the grade 10, for whatever reason, didn't complete the grade 5 math properly. Do you know the grade 10 master, tuition grade test teacher will have time to explain the grade 5? No. So that is when the remedial, so we know, for example, we know the deficiency. So nowadays with AI and all this thing, this thing can become a personalized tutor. So what I'm saying is a hybrid model. A hybrid model where technology will be there
plus physical education.
Plus physical education. जो basically जो आप एक दामिनी का मूवी था ना, ये जो खिलौना बाजार में बहुत बिकते हैं, इसको चलाना वाला जो जिगरा चाहिए ना, वो कोई बाजार में बिकते नहीं है. वो जो आदमी लेके आता है, वो 2.5 किलो का हाथ. We need that 2.5 किलो का हाथ. But this is just a toy for the teacher to supplement. But आप अगर बोलोगे कि नहीं भाई इसको 2-3 फेंक दो, काम हो जाएगा. Dream on. Keep dreaming.
Very nice and a good anecdote actually. So in your journey something happened which was never planned, which is the COVID pandemic, this thing. So I'm sure it impacted your educational initiative to some extent in a way, but I know that you took it as an opportunity. But can you just explain how did it affect and how did you...
So basically my life, 2014 we started, I took a sabbatical, I convinced my wife to come to India and then to my village and do something, and I did. Again, when we got a lot of awards and all those things doing for our work, and then we are really thriving, 125 centers by 2019, so 125 learning centers we started my village, and I was super excited. I thought this is the time to do another jump. So 2019 December, I come to India for a 6 months sabbatical, and I still work at Oracle. So that time, so then I came here, and we started to talk to different schools and also. That's the beginning of our school implementation. And then what happened? A lot of these schools they're not adopting us, and but still I was kind of going there. And I visited every private school in 4 districts: Keonjhar, Jagatsinghpur, Puri and Khurda, during my time from 2019 December to March. Then March, this thing happened. So all our 125 centers shut down in the next week. Done. So I was crying because all my work that I did is gone, just in a flash of thing. But here's the thing. Wherever there is a closure of the road, there are new pathways, and we have to take it. And I didn't know that COVID will come and become our chief marketing officer.
Oh, super. Yeah.
Okay, so what we could do, COVID did it for us. For example, whenever I want to meet a government official here, they demand a physical presence. But with Zoom, they don't. So I happily went back to the US and become available 24/7 for the government, for the people here. So nobody cares wherever I am, this thing, as long as I'm talking the right thing, with the context, and I had, because I've already worked for 8 years. So basically that is how COVID shut down our tuition business, our learning center business, but it opens up a plethora of opportunities. Kids, no, in no time we, because we have the content, just make an app. We sold our app to almost 2 lakh students in the first 4 months of COVID. Then the government recognized us. Then government knew. Then all the Sishu Mandir and Aurobindo school, they okay. So you are not the teacher. See, if the students like it, nobody can stop.
Nobody can stop. Correct. Because
and that is how COVID basically. It's a bad thing for there's a lot of bad things happen.
Yeah,
but at least for us, students, we don't have to ask anybody that, hey, I'm going to do a technological innovation. No, we need technology. And the best thing is that we have those things, what they need. It's a perfect product and market fit.
So you could connect the dots there.
Perfectly dots connected, product, this thing, we sold a lot. And that is how a company started. Until COVID, we don't, just doing that thing just like fun.
Now, when you talk about starting this company, I'll just, because most of the audience watching this show are young entrepreneurs or the entrepreneurs who want to do something. So what advice would you give to the entrepreneurs who actually want to do something in the educational sector? It could be in rural setting or otherwise, but what would be?
So I must first one, if you guys want to, hey, I want to be a Mark Zuckerberg in education, I will make $100 billion company. I don't know, if it is possible, because I have not seen even more than $2 billion company. Coursera, I think right now the most valuable publicly traded education company, if I'm correct or not. So it's about 2.7 billion or something. So, I'm not talking about Byju's or this thing, because they are not publicly traded, and they can manipulate, they can do anything to tell this thing, right? So basically, guys, if you want to come to education is not like an e-commerce kind of thing, and don't expect that you will be rich by night.
Yeah, overnight.
Overnight richness आया तो don't come. And most importantly, कि जो भी करना है, is it something that you really want to do it? Is something that you continue to do it? Basically success will not come. Like Sachin Tendulkar बोलेगा तो तू लता मंगेशकर हो जा, वो काम नहीं करेगा, right? So basically पहले तुम्हारा जो भी entrepreneurs में सुन रहे हो, see if this is something that you like to do, it will take time.
It will take time.
And it will, because तुम भूखे नहीं मरोगी. That I can guarantee you one thing from my experience. तुम जितना भी अगर तुम लगे रहो, पैसा तो कहीं आ जाएगा. You will get your time. You will get your this thing, right? So value is more important than valuation. और इंडिया में आजकल क्या होता है कि हे भाई हमारा कंपनी का वैल्यूएशन हो गया, कोई चाइना जापान से आके तुमको कुछ पैसा दे दिए और फिर उसके बाद तुमने तो उसको इक्विटी सेल कर दिए, फिर तुमने तुम्हारा ये करके तुम जाके गोवा में मस्ती किया, ये किया, सब ट्रैवल किए, फोटो लगे फेसबुक में. तो दैट इज नॉट बिजनेस इज सीरियस थिंग. बट एक्चुअली इफ यू वांट टू डू, गो टू द फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल, वर्क हार्ड एंड इट विल कम.
Fantastic. I mean, I think that is insightful and people must take a note of it. Now, considering the Aveti, how do you measure your success or the impact that you have created in the rural setting of, say, beginning with Odisha and then of course in other states and other countries, but how do you measure your success or the impact?
Yeah, the impact and success, so everything, so basically see, every day morning I want to do something, in the evening I check if I did something or not. Same thing. We are taking a class, so there is some objective. We will do this 1, 2 and 3. Then at the end of the class, we should do some test and get some outcomes. कि हुआ कि नहीं? What is the deficiency? So we measure that thing. We measure that thing for every class, and also when a student came in grade 2, he has this level. We talk about the grade level and all this thing, right? So we do a baseline test. Then the students come and study in our system, and then this thing, do an inline test. And we should see some significant sigma improvement in the learning outcome. And that we have already seen that thing. The thing is that I won't say that we're seeing in the scale. That's important. Basically, just एक दो बंदे को सीख कर देने से ठीक नहीं होगा. I'm not giving a couple of examples this thing, but no, that is what we are looking. How can make you at scale?
Maybe that is your next target.
Yeah, जो भी करना है तो basically the market is huge, and it's not like one or two success, यहाँ पे gold medal कोई नहीं है, यहाँ पे basically gold medal तो एक ही बंदे को मिलेगा या दो को मिलेगा, but that's the ultimate prize. But what we are trying to do कि massive upgrade,
larger scale बहुत ज़्यादा बच्चों को कैसे impact
किया जाए,
that is very important. So do you think there is a need of some policy level intervention wherein you believe it can further support your initiative or many such initiatives like this?
That should be basically, for example, Startup Odisha, Startup India, and all these things, they're there, right? So basically, see, for example, my customers are government customer, and I have already proven that I could work in 1300 schools. It's not a joke.
Yeah, correct.
But still, if I go to ask some work, they'll think, no, we won't give them. We will give to somebody who is like TCS or something. So basically, what I'm saying is, to those government officials who are listening to me, maybe, is that as a startup Odisha, you give me 15 lakhs, that is meaningless. Can you give me 15 customers? Can you give me 1500 customers? Don't give me the money, give me the work. And if I don't do and then don't also pay me. So pay per subscription. I'm talking about pay per success. अगर success नहीं हुआ तो पैसा मत दो. I'm willing to work for years, but you put a guy who can do this learning measurement and all this thing. But success नहीं हुआ, no money.
पैसा मत दीजिए,
but काम दीजिए. Give us opportunities.
That is important.
That is important, and that should be done. Basically, we are very sure that government alone cannot do. It needs some partners.
Correct.
तो partners basically तुम क्या वो TCS वाला हाथी को लोगी या एक agile वाला लोगी जो passionate है, जो करना चाहता है, Silicon Valley छोड़ के आके उड़ीसा में कर रहा है कि because something to do. And that is sometimes feel very bad that we don't get that kind of support.
Correct.
Like for example, the state leader, right? We work in 1300 schools, but we never get a chance to talk to them. How it is possible? The guy that was there before the principal secretary, he helped us. But after that, no, actually, you have paid us money. So at least you should bring us for a meeting. That also doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
If there is a meeting, then I am very sure we can convince them.
Yeah, that is why the survival rate of the startup is also less in tier 2-3 cities, because just giving funds will not help.
खाली funds में वही same thing जो बोला कि तुम हमको बेकारी बढ़ाते हो.
You are making
और free money देके हमको don't give any money. I'll be fine in money दो तो money
मिल जाएगा आजकल जैसा
मिल जाएगा तो फिर उसको दिखा के ये पोस्ट करेंगे. So that is a scam. Stop the scam.
Now that it has been 10 years now since Aveti has formed. So what are your expansion plans?
भाई देखो expansion plan देखो basically whenever we started we never have any plan. Correct. We just came and do this thing and then always basically after you do something more is coming. So for example in one of the meeting somebody from IIT Bombay, they came to us because we are working in Odisha. We have a lot of Odia content for their artificial intelligence model. They need some data. So they reached out to us, and then we said, okay, so let's do something, AI and these things, very hype and all this thing. So by the way, even though I'm a tech guy, but I never have AI experience and all this thing, right? And the best way to learn something is to do.
Correct.
Right? So when this IIT Bombay came, then even though we didn't have expertise, proper expertise, we took that challenge. And that opened up 3 more initiatives with IIT Bombay right now. We started with just only one without knowing much knowledge, and now not only me, all my staffs are well equipped with AI, because we learn from researchers, we learn from them, learn by doing, and then that is what, as I said, my time principle of hiring, right? I always hire the people who can be teachable. I always hire the people who have hunger in the belly, right? And they took the things ahead. So with this artificial intelligence, these things, now we can translate this thing to many languages. So hence we have limitless expansion possibilities. But we will see where we can do. Technologically it's possible, but again we need to ensure that we can do a proper execution, implementation, and so on.
Humanly possible or not?
Yes, humanly possible or not.
So because you have come from the US, what do you think individuals from outside India or businesses from outside India can contribute in such initiatives?
देखो भाई, जो भी लोग जाते हैं ना, एक मूवी था दीवार, भाई तेरे पास क्या है, ये बोलता है कि भाई मेरे पास गाड़ी है, बंगला है, कन्वर्टेबल कार है, उसमें बैठाने के लिए गर्लफ्रेंड भी है, और उसने बोला कि मेरे पास माँ है। तो मेरा पॉइंट यह है कि जितने भी हमारा, I was thinking I was the only Odia who went there with a baggage, but everybody
many people are there, yeah,
like that. And you know what? The best thing is, उनके पास गाड़ी है, बंगला है, बच्चे भी स्टैनफोर्ड, हार्वर्ड कहाँ पे चले गए, ओडिया कम्युनिटी को बता रहा हूँ। And they have still one thing is still there, emptiness in heart. उनको भी उनका माँ याद आता है जब रात में सोते हैं। ठीक है, जितना भी सक्सेसफुल हो जाओ, याद आता है। So that is how our initial.
They are not getting the opportunity, or
no, they want to help.
They want to help.
I know somebody, he is one of the very successful Odia entrepreneur back in Silicon Valley. He was almost 80s, and he has some terminal disease. And I just met him a week ago, before I come to India, and he said, Biswajit, I don't have much time, but I have a lot of money. What I do? Tell some meaningful way to do. And he's basically coming on 24th to Odisha, and he works for blind people. And again, आप बोल रहे opportunity, देखो intention ठीक था, तो basically we are now thinking how to give our content so that it will be useful for the blind students. We are building some technology to do that, some special app to do that. So my point is, there are so many people there who are successful. They have done everything, but they're not given back.
They're not, and now they are willing to.
They're willing to, because once they see this story and this thing, I can do that. You don't have to be Bill Gates or Elon Musk to give back.
Correct.
Right. And also, in my opinion, don't give back.
You do something.
To just throw back, to जाके मैं यहाँ पे जाके पैसा फेंकूंगा, तो ले जाके तो बेकारी में करूँगा, तो कल और 500 लोग यहाँ पे आ जाएंगे.
सही बात.
But that's not ever intention. तो nation building करना है, तो जो भी करना है, तो give them a skill, give them education, and that will take.
I think this is the best way, and my last question would be on your personal life, because I know this story. Ma'am is not from India, and your kids are studying in the US. What is your opinion on work-life balance? What do you think? How important is it, and how do you manage your time staying in US and in India? How do you balance?
Yeah, I would say, that's impossible. जिंदगी में एक लॉब होते हैं, एक प्यार, वन लॉब. तो जब तुम स्टार्टअप करते हो तो इसीलिए बहुत गड़बड़ होता है. वो निष्ठा तो चेंज होता है ना. तुम जो भी बोला लाइफ में, तुम एक ही से लॉब कर सकते हो. आइदर ये ऑब्जेक्ट है, या कंपनी है, या तुम्हारा बीवी है, तुम्हारा गर्लफ्रेंड है, जिसको भी है. तो मेरा पॉइंट है कि जब डाइवर्ट करता है, तो वहां से तो कुछ तो आता है. बट आई एम very fortunate that my wife has suffered a lot because of
your passion.
My passion. Kids, I don't think they have suffered, they don't know, but I do have two things. I have two pairs of support in terms of my in-laws, and they're the support, and they take care of everything if I'm not there. And so that is how, it's a lot of factors. If you have a supportive wife, supportive family, and then and then sometimes but I say that balance, that is some work-life balance, that's difficult. If you really want to do something, because see, if I do a 10 to 5 job, that's a different thing. That's a very 10, and that's what a lot of people do. Maybe I'll just switch to somewhere because it's too much.
But entrepreneurial life.
But entrepreneurial life, So basically, everything has a time, right? So my thing is, probably I started late. Whoever is listening to me, if you are early, go ahead. You don't have any problem with your girlfriend or wife or this thing right now. Maybe 21, 20. If you are listening to me 24, 25, just do it. That's the best time. Yeah, that's the best time. Yeah, there's only one love that you can have. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your time. It was very insightful. Thank you.